Welcome back. It is so good to be back. After 2 years of not doing any cons, not going anywhere, not seeing anybody, oh my god, is it good to be back. So, welcome back to my new old channel. I say that because I did have to change my name for copyright reasons, and so now I'm Girl at the Con. And yeah. I have started and stopped this video 1,000 times over. I have rewritten the script 65 times, 75 times, whatever. And I just could not get back into doing this. I think spending so much time off really made me very self-conscious, even though I got a bunch of new equipment and I was so excited to get back in, and I've been networking with people at all these cons I've been going back to, but I just couldn't get back into the flow of doing stuff. But I am finally back, and I am finally here, and I finally sat down to do this. No more putting it off. My first con back was in October, which I should have had it out by now, but like I just said, stuff. So I came back to conventions after our hiatus with WhoCon, which was the con that I last did before everything changed. So I think it was kind of fitting that you can really see what WhoCon was 2 years ago and what WhoCon is today. And if you don't know what WhoCon is a fandom convention that is based around the British TV show Doctor Who, which is really awesome about a time traveler and action adventure and a whole lot of running.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Like most cons, it takes place over a 3-day weekend. Starts on a Friday, ends on a Sunday. This one personally kind of had a rough start for me because it was raining, because it was October, and I slipped and I fell getting out of my car to head on in, and I fell and hit the back of my head. I was fine. I had a bit of a headache the first day, so I didn't really do a whole lot. I was also manning a table for a convention I used to work for, so I spent a lot of time just sitting at that table talking to people, and I didn't do a whole lot of filming or shooting. Didn't even take a lot of pictures, just sat at that table and rested. I had somebody come to help me with the table I was working at. Thank you, Marcy. So that allowed me to have time to get up and sort of walk around and see things. And it wasn't raining anymore, so there was more people there. The first thing I did was head into the dealer's hall. A lot of the standard things, like people selling collectibles. I found this really adorable, cute toy that I just had to have video of because it was so cute. Each day of the con had a silent auction. Anyone want a Grogu? One of the cooler things about small cons is a lot of the people selling handmade stuff. My personal favorite is Dragon Marsh. That's where I get all my teas for the year. And they also do essential oils, and I get some there when I feel like essential oils anyway. The last day of the con, I got to see this little guy. I have a full interview with the maker, and he goes into a lot of detail about what kind of components he used and what all he could do, K9 could do anyway, and you can kind of see some of that here. If you guys want me to edit that in for a longer video, just let me know in the comments below and I will think about doing that. I don't often go to panels. I stopped by this one. Most of the panels were really small and there weren't a lot of people in there, which is, it can be standard for some of the smaller cons to just, like, the panels just aren't as filled out as they necessarily would be at larger cons. But still pretty good turnout. The one that I saw that had the most people was the con talkback at the end. If you don't know what a talkback is, it's typically the very last thing of a convention, and it's a chance for all of the people who went to the convention to talk to and give feedback to the people that ran and set up the convention, so that they can say, you know, I was really not digging this year's theme, I just don't think, you know, XYZ goes with the con, or they can even just complain about whatever they thought was wrong with the convention and get real-time feedback. It's hard to tell from the footage that I shot for WhoCon 2021. Oh my god, I almost said 2022. No. For WhoCon 2021, that it makes it... I purposely shot this footage so that it looked like there was more people there than there actually was. I waited until there were people in the hallway to shoot in the hallway. I tried to go into mostly crowded panels, things like that, and honestly, I shouldn't have done that. I should have documented it for what it was. It does a disservice to you, the people watching this. It does a disservice to the con for you to see the convention in a highlighted way, to make it look like it had more people than was actually there. Now, this convention, I almost said a year ago, no, but prior to the pandemic, this convention had a lot of people at it. And this year, because of the pandemic, because it was essentially the first con back in San Diego, it didn't have a lot of people that showed up. I've talked to a bunch of people since then, and a lot of them have said a variety of things, such as, oh, well, I was still nervous about coming back. I was worried that people were still going to be sick and things like that. Some people who themselves were sick. It was held in the beginning of October, which is, you know, the start of cold and flu season, even when we're not dealing with killer flus and all of that. So that hurt the convention, of course, and I hope that people will come back to it when it does its 2022 year, because not a one bad year can really hurt a convention. It can cause it to just go downhill incredibly quickly. If a convention doesn't meet its attendance numbers, it doesn't bring in the revenue that it needs. If it doesn't have the revenue, then it may not be able to book the hotel. But worst yet, if a lot of people don't show up to the convention, the people that do show up are going to be like, nobody shows up to this convention, why should I? And that can lead into a spiral in and of itself, where the next year there's less attendees, and the year after that, and a convention just makes less and less money every year to the point where they have no money and they fold. WhoCon has been very fortunate, and my understanding is they did get an infusion of cash The hotel's been willing to work with them. A lot of people are generally really interested in this convention, want to see it succeed, that have kept trying to push it and keep it going. So it will be back for 2022. And I hope that if you're in San Diego, or if you're looking to come to San Diego at that time and you like Doctor Who, that you'll come by and see it, because it is such an amazing con. It's so much fun. It is definitely one of the highlights and one of the staples of my year. So I really hope that you enjoyed this and that you will share it with other people so that they can see Doctor WhoCon or WhoCon and come to San Diego. Well, that's my review, my take on WhoCon 2021. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you found it interesting, and you will take that time in the future to maybe go to WhoCon or to seek out a local convention in your area that has something that you'd be interested in like this. They're struggling to come back after the pandemic, and we want to see them all succeed so that they can keep bringing fun weekend to all of us. And yeah, so that's all for now. Hope to see you in the next one.